website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. Hey, how do you become very good at alternate picking? How do you absolutely master this technique? Because anybody can. Everyone. Doesn't matter if you have short fingers, long fingers, or old, young, doesn't matter. It's mechanics of the body. Doesn't take talent or special abilities. But it seems like that because the usual formula of pick up and down, and then pick a sequence or lick that you can play over and over again, and then do that a lot. That method doesn't work for most people. Some people succeed because they intuitively start using or doing the right things in the process. But most of us, we are left with the conclusion that maybe this is not for me, or maybe I have some kind of inbuilt limitation as to how fast I can pick, right? But that is not the truth. This video, if you watched the previous video, I hope you got that eureka moment when you really realized that, wow, I can really become good at this much faster than I thought. In this video, I'm going to give you another very effective insight that you need to be focused on when you practice that will absolutely boost your progress. And in our new alternate picking course, which is a pretty big course, but it's just insight after insight that will double your developmental speed. And we try to prove that to you in 4 weeks, where you do what we say. And then after those 4 weeks, we want to kill that notion that it's hard for you even to develop alternate picking mastery. And it's guaranteed. But before we go into all of that, please go download the free courses below here, Sweep Picking, Alternate Picking, and you can go subscribe to this channel and leave a comment if you like this video or if you don't like it. So let's look into this insight. We usually just practice alternate picking by picking up and down, and then we're told to, repeat that, right? But we need focus in order to tell the brain what to learn. I talked about that in a previous video as well. We need focus because otherwise, if you don't have focus, the brain has no idea what we're practicing. It's just a general up and down movement. But until we give it that exact focus and say, this is what you must become good at, this partial element of the whole equation is what we're practicing now, it cannot get better because it doesn't know when it fails. So, right? So it has no way of learning, and that's why it seems like it's such a long walk in the desert that you never arrive, and you don't arrive if you don't focus. So what is the second thing you need to focus on here? And in order to explain that, let's just look at when we want to do something else fast, what happens? Because this is a matter of going from slow to fast, right? When we walk, we can do all kinds of movements. That's the slow activity, right, compared to running. And when we're walking, we can have all kinds of, we can even have an attitude when we're walking. We can lean back. We can do all sorts of things, right? And we can have little details in our walk, and we can do different walks, all right? Because it's just the walking. We're walking, right? And the same thing goes for picking here. When I'm picking slow, I can do all kinds of little details to influence what I'm doing. But as I play faster or as I progress towards running, my movements become simpler and more efficient, right? I go from complexity to simplicity, right? And even when it comes to walking and running, there's a transition phase there where I'm going from, walking by definition is having one foot on the floor or ground as you take the next step. And you don't lift that first foot before you have the other foot on the ground. Running is flying. You actually have both feet off the ground. So you have one foot, you jump on the other, one foot, then the other, then one foot, then the other, and in between, you're in the air. So there's a transition there. It's two different things. But the same thing happens when you pick, that as you become faster, you get simpler and simpler in your movements, and you become more and more efficient with less and less detail, right? That is necessary in order to increase speed. Speed comes with a price, and the price is details, Please get this. So what can we learn from this, right? Just imagine, Tom Cruise running in one of the action movies. His efficiency when he's running is, bam, 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 bam. It's just repetitively simplicity and total efficiency when it comes to the one point being running as fast as possible. Pursuing the villain or running from the villain, one or the other, right? So when you pick, you need to be focused on practicing fast picking, right? And not practicing slow picking. What are the two? What's the difference? It's details or no details. And most people, when they're practicing picking, I used to do the same thing. I was just picking away, right? And the brain goes, oh, we're doing fine. We're doing well. No. Because I was using it, I'm just going to exaggerate, like looking at the picking through a microscope. I was doing this with my hand, right? When I was picking slow. But when you start picking fast, what actually happens is not that you move your hand faster, but that you decrease the motion. So if this is the speed of the hand, I'm just exaggerating wildly now. If this is the speed of the hand, right? It goes back and forth. Then it would say ding, 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 following whatever 0.2 miles per hour here with my hand. That's the speed, right? Going up and down. And as I need to increase picking speed, I don't need to increase the speed here. That would be, using up tons of resources. All I need to do is pick with the same amount of speed, but then you can see the smaller movements, the faster it goes. So ding, 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 ding. It's the same speed, but I'm just turning around faster. Does that make sense? But if I have to turn around faster, I also have to use less detail. I can't do. I have to go like this, right? I have to move my hand like this. And it's just a simple movement. Controlling that simple movement is key to running fast as well. It's not enough to be able to do this. You must be able to control the movement to get that right rhythm as well, right? That's why when you practice slow, you need to pick as if you were playing fast, right? Decrease the picking distance, right? Like that, instead of doing for hours and months like I did, right? A full year of going until I realized I need to tell the brain that we're actually practicing this instead of this, right? A little minute detail here, but it changes everything when you practice. So instead of, I don't know if you can see my hand here, right? I used to go, how little movement can I have? And once I started focusing on that compared, and the other principle in the previous video, things started happening. And then I got hungry. I started looking for other concepts and really utilizing the power of focus to really figure out what is going on when I'm picking and just stacking the things on top of each other. And then, I've used to some habits that I was doing inefficiently when I was practicing. But then I released my first alternate picking course 10 years ago. And then people sent me videos, and they, showed me stuff that I didn't have as a problem, picking patterns, all kinds of stuff. So that just became, from looking at other people's challenges, like this set of insights that's just growing and growing. And that's what's in, among other things, in the new alternate picking course that we are releasing here very soon. So go check that out. And then remember to use these two things when you practice. You can even use just these two concepts. You can get new results before the course is not available anymore. So you can get convinced by results before you go into any investment. So use these two concepts when you're practicing and just, and I would even say measure where you are now. And I say, where can you pick accurately without making mistakes? At what level? And with what pattern, right? Is it 3 notes on one string? Is it 2 notes? Where can you do something that is accurate and how fast can you do it? Measure it with the metronome, write it down, use these two principles over and over again when you practice for the next couple of days, and then see the difference. Watch what happens. But make sure you write it down, because otherwise your brain will fool you into believing that nothing happened, because you just get used to improving every time you practice, and then you don't see the huge change that happens. So, all for now. tomorrow, stay tuned because we're going to look at another element of picking that you must be focused on when you practice to get huge results fast. Don't forget to comment. If you have anything, just, say whatever. Not whatever, but just, tell me, what you think about this. And if you have any problems, alternate picking, I'm reading all the comments below here. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them as well in future videos. So don't forget to comment. And I'll see you tomorrow. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.